Hi, my name's Will Hesketh and this is Functional Yoga. So a couple of ground rules or guides to start with. Please make space around you and just be aware of your surroundings. Please make time to be present for the class. So it means removing distractions, and see if you can, as much as possible, be playful, be grateful and be compassionate towards yourself. And most importantly, remember that you are amazing. This week we're going to focus on the spine. So as always, we're going to be moving through the whole body, but the emphasis will be on moving the spine fluidly throughout the whole of the spine. We're just going to start standing and we're going to go through some of the basic movements of the lower back to start with. So feet hip width apart. Give your toes a little bit of a wiggle just as a good starting point. Bend the knees a few times, just get things moving through the feet and the lower legs. Maybe give your arms a bit of a swing, just make yourself feel good. And put your hands onto your hips. And then all we're going to do is try and feel for the bone on the front here and the bone on the back here. Just so you've got an awareness of where the pelvis is. I can only just reach around with my thumb and finger, so see what you can get hold of, don't worry about it. I would say maybe feel for the back rather than the front, because you'll probably notice more happening. And then just as you inhale, see if you could gently arch your lower back a bit, so the pelvis tilts forwards. This lower back curve increases, the belly expands. We do it with the inhale because that's where the diaphragm moves down into the belly. Now see if you could tuck the pelvis backwards. So now you're feeling these bones move back, these bones move back, and the abdominal muscles are sort of gripping and pulling in towards the spine. So as you inhale, you arch, allow that diaphragm to come down, and as you exhale, you tuck. I'll show you a couple with my top lifted so you can see. As you inhale, arch, and as you exhale, tuck. Inhale, arch, exhale. Ideally breathing through the nose if it feels comfortable to do so. Don't worry if it doesn't. Just taking your time, moving your way through that lower back. As always, any pain, just stop. Don't push into pain. Okay, really nice. From there, relax, and then just let the shoulders round forward, let the chin come down towards the chest, and just sit there for a moment, or stand there for a moment I should say, and just notice your breath. As you take a big breath in, notice your belly expand, and just breathe up into the ribs, up to the shoulders, and gradually let that head come back up. So what we're doing is exhaling, allowing the chin to come down, inhaling into the belly and imagining that breath filling you right the way up towards the shoulders, and finally allowing that head to lift. So exhale, chin comes down, inhale into the belly, all the way up to the shoulders, gradually letting that head lift. One more. Really nice. Relax. Have a little shake out again if you want to. We're going to come down to the mat. Okay, so resting on your back with your feet hip width apart, your knees bent, feet flat on the floor. We're going to do the same action we've just done, so I'll lift the top up again so you can see. So as you inhale, we just gently arch the lower back. As we exhale, we gently tuck the lower back towards the floor. So now we've got the feedback of the mat. Just pay attention. Close the eyes if you want to. Inhale, arching that lower back, exhale, tucking that lower back towards the floor. Inhale, arching that lower back, exhale, tucking that lower back towards the floor. Let's do one more. Inhale and exhale, tuck. Now, this is where we get a bit tricky. Keep the tuck, so the abdominal muscles need to work here. Keep that lower back nice and long, and then push into your feet and start to peel your way up through the spine. So bottom towards the top, taking a nice long inhale, and then as you exhale, just lowering down one vertebra at a time, top to bottom, feeling your way down through those segments, feeling each bit move. Relaxing when you get to the bottom, and resting the bum down. Inhaling to arch, exhaling to tuck. peeling your way up, bottom towards the top. Big inhale. Exhale, lower your way down, top to bottom. 2 more. Inhale, gently arch, lower back. Exhale, gently tuck. Keeping that tuck, peel your way up with the inhale. And lower your way down slowly with the exhale. Just try and feel your way through each bit of the spine. Last one, just inhale, gently arch. Exhale, gently tuck. Peeling your way up, bottom to top, 1 vertebra at a time. And exhale, slowly lowering down, top to bottom, feeling your way through. And coming to rest. Walking the feet to the width of the mat. Or, if you've not got a mat, just slightly wider than the shoulders. Exhale, let the knees go a little way to the right, just a little way. Inhale, bring them back to the center. Exhale, let the knees go a little way to the left. Inhale, back to the center. Feeling your way through, gently, gently. Taking it a bit further if you want to, but make sure it feels nice and controlled and comfortable. Exhaling as you go over. Inhaling as you come back. Slow and steady, long exhales as you go. Slow, big inhales as you come back. Notice the thigh bones rotating at the hip socket. Notice the lower back rotating. Just feel your way gently through. Whenever you're feeling even on both sides, finishing there. Bringing the knees into the chest, 1 at a time. 1 comes in and you hold it, and then the other comes in and you hold that in too. So it's a bit more mellow when you do it that way. Keeping both knees pulled into the chest, just gently pull them in a little, relax them away a little, see how it feels. Have a little rock side to side, see how that feels. Just be very gentle with it. Nice. Okay, so front to back, or side to side, or a bit of both, or maybe circles. Just feeling your way through, making sure you're not in any discomfort. Whenever you're ready, we're going to take hold of the back of the thighs, and we're just very gently going to straighten the legs out towards the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are. Really nice, just gently, gently feeling your way into the back of the hamstrings. So if you didn't know, 90 degrees with a straight leg is kind of like normal range of movement for the hamstring. So we don't really need to go particularly much further unless we're training to be an acrobat or something like that. Day-to-day stuff, really, 90 degrees is what we're looking for, not looking to go any further. So no need for excessive hamstring stretching. Just gently gliding through the backs of the hamstrings. You know, if you're down here and you're tight, then that's fine. You're doing the right thing. You're just getting things moving. You can probably feel the hamstrings move with your hands on them. Give them a bit of a massage if you want to. Give the toes a wiggle. Flex and point the toes. Get some movement there. You might be thinking, what's this got to do with the spine? And I would say, not that much, really. Although, if you are tight in your legs and it's pulling your pelvis out of position, then that affects your spine. So it's all interlinked. That's why we do a bit of everything every class. Okay, whenever you're ready, we're going to roll onto our either onto our side or straight to a seated or even standing position. So that depends how lively you're feeling. So you could just roll over onto your side. If you're feeling like you want a challenge, you could see if you could roll through the spine. Now this might mess my microphone up, so I'm going to stop talking, but take it steady, don't force it. So only doing this if it feels safe and comfortable. And then if you want to, you could roll straight to seated or straight to standing. From there, we're going to bring our way to all fours. And from our all fours position, knees hip width apart, feet hip width apart. Check that, it's really worth checking that. Top of the foot down, just gently glide back. So this is a really regular exercise I do just because it's really great getting those knees, ankles and hips aligned and just gliding through. Nice action for the knees. make sure the knees feel comfortable, so don't force it if they don't feel comfortable. You could always get cushions to put under the knees. Tuck the toes for a few, nice little stretch through the sole of the foot, very gently. Give the toes a wiggle, give the fingers a wiggle. If you're a bit uncomfortable, you can always come onto the elbows. Just gliding through, and just notice that when you come forwards, you have that natural arch that comes into the lower back, and when you come backwards, that flattens out. So just feeling your way through that movement of the spine, nice and gentle. Whenever you're ready, from either an all fours position or with the elbows down, we're just going to try and curve the spine. So just gently arch one way and gently arch the other way. Just try and feel your way through that. So remember, not any big arches in the spine here. We're trying to keep a little bit of control, getting gentle lateral curves side to side. So you could think about moving the bottom of the ribs towards one side and then moving the bottom of the ribs towards the other side. I tend to find that to be a nice cue that helps people get it. You could start to bring the neck into it a little bit, very gently again. So the whole thing moving like a bit of a wave, just gentle side to side movement. Flowing through it, keeping that breath nice and smooth. Let's give the wrists a little bit of a break. So walk back just to a kneeling position, give the hands a little shake out. Turn the palms forwards and gently stretch into those forearms and the hands. So very gently. So you might start with the fingertips down and the arms completely straight. You might gradually work towards pushing the palms down just gently. You might bend the elbows, which makes it more, or a more intense stretch is the words I'm looking for there. So whatever feels right for you, just gently feeling your way through. Remember, stretches need to happen really subtly for your body to relax into them. Those big long exhales. Really helpful for allowing your body to relax. Whenever you're ready, come back to all fours. Now, let's see if we could move just the lower back from all fours. So as you inhale, gently arch. As you exhale, gently tuck. So as you inhale, that lower back arches, and as you exhale, you tuck and flatten it off, possibly even round it upwards a little bit, but keep it really gentle, make sure it feels comfortable. Inhale, breathe into the belly, relax. Exhale, tuck, push the air out of the belly. Now, see if you could keep a bit of the tuck, so the lower back stays nice and flat. Now we get tricky. This tends to be tricky for a lot of people. Inhale, round up into your upper back, let your chin come towards your chest. Exhale, flatten off your upper back without arching the lower back. So keep that grip, flatten that upper back off. Inhale, round up into that upper back. Exhale, flatten. Nice and gentle. Try and keep the shoulder blades nice and broad, so you're not just pinching your shoulder blades together to get the sensation that you're flattening out. Really think about it. Is your spine moving? Is your upper back moving? Inhale, arch. Exhale, flatten up. Now let's try, see if we could get right the way through the spine from bottom to top. So as you inhale, arch that lower back and let that chest lift up and forwards, let that back of the neck stay as long as possible, but the head looks forward just a little, the face looks forward just a little. Exhale, tuck from the pelvis, moving up the spine again, gradually tracking your way up. From the pelvis again, inhale, arch, moving up the spine again. Exhale, tuck, up the spine, bottom to top. So bottom to top through the spine, constantly feeling that ripple from bottom to top. Really nice. And relax down into child's pose. So just sit the bum back towards the heels, get comfortable. You can take the knees wide if you want to. I always tend to keep my knees hip width apart because I'm obsessed with knee, ankle, hip alignment because I think it's really helpful. But if you want to take the knees wide so you've got more room, then by all means do that. And you could rest on a pillow just getting comfortable. Careful that your back of your neck isn't shortening, so we're not just sort of like looking forwards as we're doing it. Back of the neck nice and long. Just breathe, notice how it feels. Now, whenever you're ready, just walking the hands over to the right hand side and just resting there. Just gently breathing. Noticing the ribs move. Now if the ribs are moving, they're attached to the upper back, so upper back is subtly getting a bit of movement there as well. Feeling how that breath moves the body. Or how the body moves to create the breath. Either way, just seeing if you could breathe a little deeper, a little slower, without any pain. In your own time, very gently, walking your way to the other side. Nice, long, calm breaths. And in your own time, slowly and gently bringing your way back to the centre, walking yourself forward and resting down onto your fronts. Okay, so apologies if my mic goes a bit funny while I'm lying on my chest here. We're going to see if we can allow ourselves the same movement while we lay on our front. So this gets a bit more tricky. So that same arch and tuck, we're going to see if we can do it resting down on our belly. So see if you can get your feet hip width apart, reach your toes backwards and think about stretching the top of the foot out onto the floor a little bit. Look straight down at the mat, arms in a comfortable position. Try and think about keeping the back of the neck nice and long. And then see, could you exhale and scoop the belly off the floor to get that grip and lengthen that lower back. So as you exhale, try and imagine you're pulling the belly up towards the spine to get something to pass underneath your belly. So imagine someone's trying to post a small thing. I have no idea what and why they would do that, but someone's trying to post a letter underneath your belly. And while you're doing that, you're seeing if you could then think about all the ribs on the front of the body lifting up and forwards gently, and then the back of the neck remaining nice and long. So just tuck the chin towards the chest and see how that feels, and then just find a point where it's really nice and relaxing, not forcing the chin into the chest or anything like that. And just breathe into it. Now see if you could keep the tuck, and then just imagine lifting the chest up and forwards a little. See if there's any ability to do that. Imagine lifting those ribs up and forwards just at the top. So bottom rib stays where it is, all the other ribs lift up and forwards, back of the neck nice and long, broad across the shoulders, strong abdominal grip, keeping that control, breathing into it. Really nice and relax. Now we're going to try and add something else to this. We're now going to see if we could add some leg movements into it. So remember the tuck, exhale, scoop that belly up, keep that grip, that lower back feels long and you're hollowing out under your belly, or at least getting the sensation that the muscle is pulling up away from the floor. From there we're breathing into the rib cage, Lifting the top of the ribs up and forwards, lengthening out through the back of the neck, really thinking about flattening those 3 curves out. So the tuck is what flattens the lower back out, and then the bottom ribs stay down and the top ribs lift up and forwards, and that tends to be the tricky one to flatten out that thoracic spine, that upper back, and that back of the neck lengthens out as you allow your head just to look forwards and down as opposed to looking forwards. Now, we're going to see if we can peel 1 foot off the floor and then 1 knee off the floor and just hold that leg there. Keep that strong tuck, that abdominal grip. Keep that control of the lower back. Think about your bum muscles working to lift that leg. Rest that leg down, same thing on the other side. Keep that strong grip around the abdominal muscles, flattening out those curves, and then lift the foot, and then eventually the knee of the other leg. You feel your bum muscles work to lift that leg. So don't let that belly push into the floor, don't arch that lower back. We're trying to keep the lower back muscles long as we lift the knee off the floor. So we're pulling ourselves into hip extension very gently without forcing, keeping that back nice and flat and long. If you want to take it a stage further, you would lift both knees off the floor. Hold, so feel free to stop, don't force it. Take it on and off, but hold as long as you can and then take a break when you need to. Hold and feel the detail. Feel the abdominal grip. If you want to, you could bring the arms by your sides and lift them up into that full locust position. Think about lifting the chest up and forwards, belly tucking up towards the spine, keeping that lower back long. Small lift of the legs, really using those glutes, reaching up and forwards. Broad across the shoulders, space under the armpits. Breathing your way into it. Keeping those abdominal muscles working strongly, keeping those glute muscles working, keeping those shoulder blades wide. See if you could turn your palms towards the floor, fingertips towards the floor. So now we've externally rotated at the shoulder, but see if you could keep those shoulder blades nice and wide. Breathing your way through. You don't need to hold it as long as I am. Remember, you can always stop and take a break. We're flattening out those curves in the spine, working those glute muscles to come into hip extension, working the muscles around the shoulder blades to keep them wide, and externally rotating at the shoulder, at the upper arm, so that your chest is stretching out and getting the opposite of what day-to-day life tends to do to us. Relax and rest down. Whenever you're ready, push into your hands and slowly bring your way back to all fours position. Swing your legs round and bring yourself onto your back. Feet hip width apart, knees hip width apart. Have a shuffle around and get comfortable. And notice a few breaths. Allowing that spine to rest into the floor. Whenever you're ready, just bring your knees into the chest one at a time again. Remember, just nice and gently. Have a little rock side to side, little rock front to back. If you were rocking through the whole spine before and it was feeling good, then by all means, you could do that. Make sure it feels really nice and comfortable. Make sure you're not going to bang into anything as you do it. Make sure you're using your abdominal muscles so that you're not just thudding from your bum to your upper back. You're gripping through and rolling your way through the lower back as well, so you get that decompression into the lower back. Gently. If this feels too much, don't do it. Really take it controlled. If this is too much, then just gently pulling the knees in and out, see how that is, or just gently holding the knees, maybe a little bit side to side, just whatever's feeling good for your spine. Just being here holding the knees in can be a really great position, or you could just rest the feet on something, on a sofa or something like that, and just really let that back flatten out. So we're going to come to a standing position. you can either roll onto your side and bring yourself up slowly, or if you're feeling really up for this rolling through the spine, you could roll to seated or even roll straight to a standing position and bring your way up from there. It's up to you. Okay, so from our standing position, we're going to go feet hip width apart, we're going to bend our knees a little, and all we're going to do is hinge forward from the pelvis, trying to keep the back nice and tall and straight. So think about what we were doing resting on our front. We were gripping the abdominal muscles so the lower back felt long, tucking the bottom of the ribs down, lifting the top of the ribs up, broad across the shoulders, front and back, long through the neck, and then see if you could hold all that as you just hinge forwards a little gently, bringing yourself into a chair squat. Bend the knees a little bit, sit the bum down and back, reach the arms up and forwards if you want to make it a bit more challenging. You could put the hands onto the knee if you want to, so you're just supporting yourself a little bit more. And then from there, all we're going to do is attempt to arch the lower back gently and flatten it out. So just very gently arching that lower back, and exhale, flatten it out. Inhale, arch the lower back, exhale, flatten it out. So you can do it from this position with the hands on the knees, or you can do it with the arms raised up above the head, just feeling your way into it, feeling your way into the strength of the back muscles, the strength of the abdominal muscles, the strength of the bum muscles. So just feeling your way into that lower back and just feeling your glutes starting to really help you out here. Take a break whenever you feel like you need to, or hold the position. Pause, keep that strong tuck, so no big round upwards in the lower back or arch forwards. Nice neutral, lengthened out lower back, long spine, keeping that control, breathing for 2 more breaths if you're still with me, and 1 more. Gradually bring your way back up to standing and step it out. So, in your own time, bring yourself back down to the mat, and we're going to come to final resting position, Shavasana. You could straighten the legs out and have the arms relaxing by the sides if that feels comfortable. If you do feel back discomfort, especially lower back discomfort, then you might want to walk your feet up and have your feet flat on the floor, or you might want to have your legs resting on something, or have some cushions behind your legs. It's up to you. So just get in a comfortable position, feeling that spine is just decompressing as you're lying on your back, letting everything flatten out. Noticing the breath, allowing the eyes to close if you're happy with that. Semi-close the eyes if you'd rather not fully close. Allow the focus to soften. Allow the jaw to relax and around the cheeks. Around the neck and the shoulders, just imagine it all softening off with each exhale. Everything's softening and flattening into the floor. So just allowing the breath to be long and smooth. Maybe counting the breath. Counting to a certain number on the inhale. And then seeing if you could count a little bit longer on the exhale. Breathing through the nose if that feels comfortable. If not, just breathing through the mouth is fine. Just imagine the natural movement of your spine as you breathe. As you breathe in, that diaphragm draws down. That belly naturally arches a little bit. That lower back naturally arches a little bit. And as you exhale, it naturally flattens. So we're not trying to do anything, we're just imagining the spine move. As we expand into the ribs, that upper back naturally moves a little. And because of that, that neck moves a little as well. Just breathing and feeling moment by moment. Visualizing that spine flattening out, decompressing. Visualizing all that movement that we've just been doing. Allowing fluids to flow better, areas to heal better, lubrication of the joints, regeneration of cells, movement of waste, unneeded, dead cells, things like that. Your spine just feeling relaxed, nourished. Your whole body feeling relaxed and nourished. Spacious, open, compassionate, grateful. The body, spacious, open, calm. Gradually in your own time, just starting to move the fingers. Tiny little movements to start with. And the toes, just see how small you can move the toes, but you still sense it. The face, if you want to have a rub of the face with the hands, you could do that. If you want to have a stretch out, you could stretch out, you could roll around. If you're happy keeping the eyes closed, keep the eyes closed. And in your own time, just gradually starting to work your way back up, possibly keeping the eyes closed if that's safe. Bringing yourself to any comfortable seated position. You could be on a chair, you could be on cushions. Sitting up nice and tall through the spine, broad across the shoulders, letting the chin come down towards the chest. Taking a big breath in. And then with the exhale, just gradually starting to lift that head back up, gradually starting to open the eyes. And we'll finish there. Thank you very much for joining, and there'll be another video posted on Wednesday. Take care. Thanks.